Hello there. My name is Dr. Scott Poole, and I am the Bassoon professor here at Texas A&M University in Corpus Christi. And I'm very happy to be able to present to you the Etudes for the Texas All-State and region for 2026-27. So I want to start with the number 21. Our Etudes, by the way, come from the book 30 Classical Studies for Bassoon, and they are a compilation of many, many different composers. The first one here that I'm going to present is number 21 by Carl Jacobi. And it's a beautiful lyrical example here of how the bassoon can sound very beautiful in a variety of situations. And one of the things there are two things that are of primary concern in this etude. One is being able to play with rubato, but then also the other one is to be able to incorporate what I call a da tongue. A lot of times we play bassoon with a ta, T-A, as in toy. But then a lot of times at the more professional levels that you get to, you have to incorporate what's called a da tongue, which is a da as in dog, D-A-H. So you still hear the articulation, but it's a little lighter, and it allows for these large leaps that we have that are almost impossible if we truly slur. So let me give an example first of the rubato, and it's right at the beginning that we can start to shape the pieces of music, or the phrases of music, I should say, here in this example. So we start with playing in time at about this tempo, adagio. But when we get to what I call the black notes, the 32nd notes, the 64th notes, we can stretch just a little bit, and they're almost like each one is a little cadenza. But we have to keep that underlying beat in mind so that we hopefully line up beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me show you an example in just the first two measures. So if I count myself off, 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you see how I did that? Yes. If I take a little time, or if I do it exactly in time, it might be a little more difficult. And I might rush a little bit. But if I take a little bit of time, dee-da-da-dee-da-da, and really just aim for beat 3 in that measure. I'm talking about the second measure here. And then the next measure. I can take a little time and allow myself to land on the big beats and keep a broader sense of tempo going. It makes the technique in this one a little bit easier. Now let's talk about those wide leaps. We have to jump all the way down to measure 35. It happens in other places too, but in measure 35 is a great example of if I tried to just honestly slur this the whole way, very, very difficult, or I might get what I call the donkey sound on the bassoon. That kind of a sound, and we don't really want that in this example. So let me play for you in 35, and I'll play it exactly as written with all the slurs. And you get this ee-ah, ee-ah, which is really kind of crazy. And as you could hear, some of them didn't even come out. So what I want to do is maybe incorporate what I call the da tongue. When you go up to the high note, we slur up there, and when we come back down to the low note, just give a little bit of a da. And they actually come out pretty easy. hopefully that'll make things easier on this one. Here is the full excerpt as played.